Okay, students, here goes nothing. I'm Miss Teed. I am your proxy anatomy and physiology teacher. As a disclaimer, you need to know I am not a biology person. My major was chemistry. My minor was physics and mathematics. I have a lot of help. So many people that God has put in my path to help me with this course. And I'm thankful for the opportunity, even at my age, to be able to learn new things. So I'm embracing this as a learning opportunity, and I pray that you will as well. That being said, you need to understand that I am learning this material right along with you and taking this as that opportunity. So, we will learn together. I will make this a challenging course as I would make any other course. And I'm going to take these tests with you as I'm making them for myself as well. Know that I have good friends at UAHT that are working alongside me, that are providing all of these materials that we are using for this course. They have provided for me, and they are guiding me. So I do have experts in the field. I also want to chastise you. Out of the 5 or 7 or however many are in this course, only one did the assignment that I asked of you on Friday. That needs to be corrected soon. So let's go to the introduction. I'm going to get as far into these PowerPoints. I'm going to try to make these little videos no more than 7 or 8 minutes long. This first one is just the introduction, and it's the Straight Out of Your Holes Anatomy book. This text, these PowerPoints go along. This is a newer edition, but it goes straight along with the books that you now have. So it says that anatomy and physiology started being studied simply because people back in the day started wondering. They had questions that asked about their bodies and how they functioned, and wanted to know more about how the human body worked. And so they started experimenting literally on human bodies and saying, hey, I wonder how that works. Let's take it apart and see. So that's exactly what had happened. You need to know these definitions, which I already did ask you to learn. Anatomy is the study of structure of human body. Physiology is the study of the function of the human body. And together, they work hand in hand. And there's some big words in this course, and that's called the complementarity of structure and function. So anatomy studies the structure, physiology studies the function, and together they make up both together the structure and function of the human body. I asked you to learn the names of these, and we talk about subatomic particles. Those would be protons, electrons, neutrons, even smaller particles, quarks, leptons, all those other kind of things. They make up atoms. Atoms like hydrogen, carbon, lithium, all those other kinds of molecules. And then atoms join together to form molecules, bigger particles that we call molecules. Then those molecules join together and form even bigger particles that we call macromolecules. They make up proteins, DNA, all different kinds, lipids, fatty acids, different things like that make up our bodies. Then those macromolecules bind together, join together, and form organelles, mitochondrion, Golgi, those kinds of things. And then those organelles join together to form cells. Those cells join together to form tissues. Those tissues then form organs. Then an organ works together in a system, an organ system, and then that works together to form an organism. That would be us. And here's a picture. There's lots of pictures in this textbook that you're just going to have to put a sticky note over the parts you don't want to see. You're just going to have to be grown-ups here, because that's just the way it works. That's all part of our body. And this is exactly how it works, that you can kind of see that we can, let's see, I'm learning how to use this too. Subatomic particles here go to atoms, that go to molecules, that go to macromolecules, that then go together in an organelle. I'm pretty sure that's a mitochondria right there that go together with a cell, that make a tissue, that make an organ, thinking that's a stomach right there, that make a system. That's a liver and a stomach and your colon and intestines right there that go to make a human being. All right? And that's how it all works together. All right. And then we're not going to talk about these clinical applications right now, but there are many in the ultrasounds and MRIs and different things like that that we could talk about later. But let's talk about how do you know that something is living? What's the difference between a living organism and something that's not alive? And so there are 10 different characteristics of life that I'm going to give you a quiz over that I'm going to expect you to know. That quiz will be on Google Classroom. So make sure that you know these 10 characteristics of life. The object or the body has to be able to move, that is, have motion, walk, change its position in some way. It has to be responsive. It has to react to change. You have to be able to touch it and it'll respond in some sort of way. Or like a flower, it responds to the wind. It responds to sunlight. It responds to food. It grows. Okay? Growth is another. It increases in its body size. It can change its shape or grow in size. It reproduces, has offspring of some sort and fashion. It breathes, that's respiration. Okay? Maybe not in exactly the same way we do, because plants don't breathe the same way we do, but they still have, they are classified as living things because they do have some sort of breathing mechanism. So you have to be able to breathe, and you have to be able to break down your food, some sort of digestive system. Then the other 4 are absorption. It has to be able to have a method to get nutrients into and out of its cells. That's what it's talking about with absorption. Circulation. It has to be able to circulate fluids in some form or fashion. Those that could be blood, it could be other fluids that have to go through water, nutrients. It has to have a way to get into and out of cells. And assimilation. It has to be able to get those chemicals that are absorbed into its body into different forms. You have to be able to change oxygen into some other form that is necessary, like our food stores. We have to be able to process that oxygen that we eat and that we take into our bodies into hemoglobin, and that's our blood. That's its main job of the hemoglobin, is to take oxygen through our bodies and distribute it where it needs to go, to our brain, to our lungs, to all the different places it needs to go. And if it can't do that, well, we can't survive. And then excretion. We have to be able to pee and poop, and so do plants in their own way. They have to be able, you cannot be living if you cannot pee and poop. Excretion of some form or fashion, be able to get rid of that waste. Okay? If you cannot do those things, you have to meet all 10 of those requirements to be able to be considered a living organism. Be ready for a quiz on that, all right? And then you have to be able to maintain life. You have to be able to have these 5 fundamental things. You have to have water, food, oxygen, some sort of heat, and some sort of pressure. And that, when I saw pressure, I said, how in the world, why do you need pressure in order to stay alive? So this was really new to me. But it's talking about, we're going to talk about that right now, and it's going to be the last of this particular video. Water is our most abundant thing that's in our body. It's required for every single metabolic process that is in our body. We have to have it for everything. It transports our blood. The major component of blood is water. The major component of everything that we do